African Union Communications, Early Warning, and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoyi, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing on the progress of the special military operation as of March 5, 2026. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue the special military operation. The North Group of Forces improved the situation along the front line. Russian troops engaged a mechanized brigade, an airmobile brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a territorial defense brigade, and a detachment of the Ukrainian Border Guard Service near Grabovskoye, Khoten, Novaya Sek, Katerinovka, and Miropolye in the Sumy region. In Kharkov region, a mechanized brigade, a motorized infantry brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and a territorial defense brigade have been hit near Staritsa, Volchanskaya Kutora, and Grafskoye of Kharkov region. The Armed Forces of Ukraine losses amounted to up to 225 troops, 3 armored fighting vehicles, 20 motor vehicles, and 1 artillery gun, an electronic warfare station, an ammunition depot, and 8 material depots were neutralized. As a result of resolute actions, the West Group of Forces liberated Yarovaya in the Donetsk People's Republic. 3 mechanized brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a National Guard brigade, and a Border Service detachment of Ukraine have been hit close to Lozovoy, Yatskovka, Rubtsy, Sosnovoy, Svyatogorsk, Krasny Liman, Donetsk People's Republic, Novoye Gorovka, Lugansk People's Republic, and Druzhelyubovka in the Kharkov region. The enemy losses amounted to more than 180 troops, 3 armored fighting vehicles, 17 motor vehicles, and 2 artillery guns, including a US-made 155mm M777 howitzer. 3 ammunition depots were neutralized. The South Group of Forces improved the tactical situation along the front line. 2 mechanized brigades and a mountain assault brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine were hit near Lipovka, Kaliniki, Slavyansk, Konstantinovka, Kramatorsk, Nikifovorovka, Krivaya Luka, Ray-Alexandrovka, and Golubovka in the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy lost up to 135 troops, 5 armored fighting vehicles, including 2 M113 armored personnel carriers, a US-made Stryker armored personnel carrier, 13 motor vehicles, and 4 field artillery guns. 2 electronic warfare stations and 4 materiel depots were neutralized. The center group of forces took more advantageous lines and positions. 3 mechanized brigades, an airmobile brigade, a Jaeger brigade, 2 assault regiments of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a Marine brigade, and 2 National Guard brigades have been hit close to Priut, Grishino, Zolotoy Kolodez, Volnoye, Belitskoye in the Donetsk People's Republic, Novopavlovka, Ivanovka, and Novopodgornoye in the Dnipropetrovsk region. The Armed Forces of Ukraine losses amounted to more than 345 troops, 7 armored fighting vehicles, 12 motor vehicles, a Czech-made Vampire MLRS, and 2 field artillery guns. The East Group of Forces continued advancing into the depth of enemy defense. Russian elements delivered damage to a mechanized brigade, an air assault brigade, an assault brigade, and 2 assault regiments of the Armed Forces of Ukraine close to Velikomikhailovka, Kolomytsi, Novoskelevatoye, Pisanci in Dnipropetrovsk region, Vozdvizhevka, and Boykovo in the Zaporozhye region. The Armed Forces of Ukraine losses amounted to more than 280 troops, 4 armored fighting vehicles, 7 motor vehicles, and 1 electronic warfare station. The Dnieper Group of Forces improved the tactical situation. Russian forces engaged a mechanized brigade and a mountain assault brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine near Novoyakovlevka and Zaporozhets in the Zaporozhye region. More than 50 troops, 16 motor vehicles, an artillery gun, 3 electronic warfare stations, and 2 materiel depots have been neutralized. Operational tactical aviation, attack drones, missile troops, and artillery of the Russian groups of forces have inflicted damage on energy and transport facilities used in the interests of the Ukrainian defense industry, sites for preparation and launch of long-range strike drones, as well as temporary deployment areas of Ukrainian armed formations and foreign mercenaries in 152 areas. air defense systems shot down 8 guided aerial bombs, 3 HIMARS MLRS projectiles, and 410 fixed-wing unmanned aerial vehicles. The Black Sea Fleet eliminated 4 uncrewed surface vehicles of the armed forces of Ukraine in the northwestern part of the Black Sea. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, the enemy has lost 670 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 119 Tu-770 unmanned aerial vehicles, 651 anti-aircraft missile systems, 28,000 ZOS 36 tanks and other armored fighting vehicles, 1,681 MLRS combat vehicles, 33,638 field artillery guns and mortars, 55,925 units of support military vehicles. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.